Hello and welcome to our Agile Hive review in the month of March 2024. This review is being recorded. So if you don't want to appear in this recording because it will be put on YouTube and be publicly available in the next few days, please make sure to turn off the camera so that you don't appear in the review when you say something. All right. What have we been up to in the last 4 weeks? I'm going to present to you what the team managed to implement into Agile Hive in the last 4 weeks. Starting off with the feature of the property recalculation. If you remember our last review, we presented you the opportunity to recalculate the issue properties that we use for our reports and for our planning board and our roadmap, for example, that you can recalculate them on the basis of an art project and a specific PI, so that you don't have to trigger the manual recalculation every time you think that some of the properties that you're seeing on our reports might be off, or in case you for example, installed a newer version of the plugin because in the meantime, there might have been some changes that our issue event listeners might not have might not have caught up on, let's say it this way. Then you find the possibility to trigger a recalculation now on art level. And after this one, you will also find the possibility to trigger it from a solution level for a specific set of PIs. What do I mean with set of PIs? You see here in the second screenshot that I have that on solution level we show you PIs from or for a specific time frame. These are PIs beneath that solution project these are PIs from arts beneath that specific solution project that fit this time frame. So they have to start at the 28th of November in this case, and the 6th of February 2024, and end at the 6th of February 2024. That's the way that Agile Hive knows, oh, these two PIs, they have the same cadence, right? And then the dropdown here, the same dropdown as you see on reports, will list them together and they will pick up for the property calculation together. So if you do that, pick this one, for example, here. The menu will show you which or how many issues will be affected by this. So this is way less than what will be affected by a complete manual recalculation, thus speeding up the process even further. We are currently working on the recalculation for all issues beneath a portfolio project. This is already in the PR state, but we have found one thing that concerns us a little bit about this. So we will look into it to not have, as always, performance issues, because as you might expect, beneath the portfolio level project, there might be thousands of issues affected. It can thus take a very long time to process and also take up a lot of memory on your system. And that's an issue we are going to look into right now. But the possibilities to recalculate for art and for solution train level, especially for art level, we will hopefully release that within the next major Agile Hive version. So 3.66 should be the expected release for that. What we also did, again, you remembered last time I showed you that we now show shared service projects or issues from shared service projects on the art level reports. And we felt quite confident that we want to release that in the near future, and we tested that performance-wise again. but found that this was quite a bit slower than we expected. So we introduced caching for this shared service objects. And also we adapted our issue event listeners to filter out issues that are not relevant earlier in the process than it's been done right now. So these are also changes that we implemented for shared services, and we tested that, and we now think that it is on par with what is being released right now in the current release. So we feel confident that we can release the shared service projects or the shared services in a short time. So also I flagged this one here with 366. Some minor improvements we made. We got the feedback from you in our help desk from our support that you found the explanation on art and solution train reports not sufficient enough. What is being meant with issues without parent on the report? Because on art level, this only affects team issues, as you see here. And on the solution level, this affects team issues and art issues without parents as well. So we made it a little bit clearer by just adapting the names depending on the level you are currently in. So another bug fix we released. No, we did not release, but we fixed earlier. There was a problem when you tried to load the team breakout boards or the breakout board overview when the art project did not have any Jira board configured for it. I don't mean primary board, I mean any. So there was no Kanban board or no Scrum board for the project present. And this led to a null pointer because our views tried to get the quick filters for this project from a board, not necessarily the right one, but that's the possibility for the primary board. You can configure this now too. But apart from that, this led to a null pointer, which led to this views not rendering at all. We fixed this bug, and additionally to that, we introduced a new health check for this kind of error. It now hints you that you have to create a Jira board for your art project. I don't know if that should be a common mistake or a common bug, because without a Jira board, you can't really work with the project. So yeah, should not occur that often. But for the product health, I think we introduced this health check here. And an improvement on our part, on our side of the development efforts, we added SonarLint into our build pipeline. This is a tool which will let us know if we introduce any security hotspots, it's called, I have been told, or if we, in any case, compromised our code maintainability and will give us an error warning and leads to failed builds, so that we know that we have to fix these before we can actually release the changes we made. There are a few other parts which I did not mention here yet. I think I will add them into this board later. These are a few bug fixes, especially one that might affect customers who have a lot of PIs already, because and also a lot of teams. No, this one was for a lot of teams. I think Thomas will correct me here. Where we will make the navigation menu scrollable, so that you are not limited by your screen height and possibly not see all the projects in your navigation. Yeah. I forgot to add this here. I will add this in the future, but you will have access to this page, as you already know, and can see that step added later. So let's have a last look on our the current PI that we are working on. We set our goals to deliver you a new property calculation method, as I explained earlier. We've done it already for PI and solution train level. As I said, the last thing that's missing is the possibility to trigger it from a portfolio level, and also that we will have to look into possible performance issues as well. Yeah. For the shared services, again, we came so far as to show shared service teams or the issues they work on the art report, so that is done. And I think that also provides a lot of value already. So we feel confident to release this without having already implemented shared services on the breakout board. So we will release that at a later point in time because this highly depends on the last issue that we worked on in this PI. We wanted to improve the loading performance of our breakout board by splitting up the loading request into several smaller requests. One request for each team, and only if the team is being expanded. And this would heavily interfere with showing the shared service teams on the breakout board. And we didn't want to make more work, because if we would have implemented this for the current state, we would have had to change it for this feature. So we said that we do it afterwards. There are some other topics that we wanted to tackle in this PI when there was time. There wasn't. But one thing that we tried to start already was, we heard from you that there are problems with features that appear on Teams breakout boards, even though they are not supposed to work on this feature in a current PI. This is due to the fact that they might spill over from a former PI and might appear on all the breakout boards for all the teams that have worked on this feature in the past again. So yeah, and now we want to spike an implementation where we change our custom planning interval custom field, so that it is able to reflect a connection between team and PIs. So there might be changes to the planning interval field in the future, but we will let you know, because I know that some of you use it in, for example, their custom reports or their exports to CSV or to Excel, and yeah, this should be affected by this too. But in that, yeah, in the same implementation effort, we want to try to tackle the issue of the calculated values of those custom fields, because they cannot be exported to CSV right now. We want to tackle this issue too with this approach that we are doing here. Yeah, but I don't think that you will see any results from this apart from a spike, which we will hopefully present to you in the next review, or the result of this. But then we have to see when we will actually implement the expected behavior here. All right. Enough of me. Are there any questions from your side?
Just the last comment from Anton is feedback concerning the review. The rest is for visibility of the document.
Okay, right. Yeah, thank you for that feedback. I think we had a discussion on this last week, right? Also, yeah, I second Anton's feedback. Yes, I hear you. We explicitly moved it there because we wanted every team member to be able to see those possible errors and report them to the responsible places. So, because admins might not work with Agile Hive, so they might not see these errors. Could be a case. And then the views on the boards might be wrong, data might be wrong, views might not load at all, and the normal user, in quotation marks, doesn't know why. So that's why we thought it would be best to see for everyone if there are health errors in within Agile Hive that might compromise that might affect our views. Yeah. I hope you understand that. But yeah, I know there are quite a lot right now. And as I said, we had a discussion about another health check on Monday. Christian writes, I've never seen anyone raising an error to admins, and I have a lot of arts with constant errors because they have boards containing multiple teams, deleting Scrum boards, etc. Yeah, and what's the result from that? Do they follow the steps in the health checks, or do they just ignore it and say, hey, it works? No, they just ignore it. Yeah. Great. Yeah, as with some of these, you mentioned, for example, the multiple teams. This might actually be a big case if they disregard this error, because as you might know from the past, we had trouble with sprints being created in the wrong boards and being shown at the wrong teams. Sorry. Yeah, which led to Agile Hive not working correctly. The reports not showing any data, breakout boards not being usable because that depends on the sprints too. Yeah, as you said, you already had to fix sprints in the DB. That would be good if your teams actually report those errors back to you. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for the feedback. Might also be a good idea to notch admins about this, right? Yeah. I think we'll have to consider this. Okay, a lot of feedback regarding the health check. Yes, I know it was a controversial feature right from the start. Okay, thank you for the feedback on this one. Is there any other feedback regarding the things that I talked about, or any other questions that you might have?
It's not really directly related to Agile Hive, but if you are using Agile Hive and your SAFe transformation relates somewhat to SAP and you're planning to attend the SAFe Summit in Berlin, please drop me an email. We might have something for you.
Yeah, we haven't found out how we could do that, actually, Anton. It was a topic right in the beginning of Agile Hive, but later there were not enough people who actually wanted to see the fields in the detail view anymore. So I think it got a little out of focus. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason why they aren't available in the first place is because they are calculated fields. They're not existing in the database. They're calculated when you access the page, I think. So it's probably harder for them to make them appear, or even not possible from Atlassian in the first place.
I think it's might be related to that. It's our custom fields. They don't use the standard types from Atlassian. That's the main reason they don't appear there, because some fields do appear there, or you can configure them to appear there, but not all fields, like planning interval, and yeah, as Patrick says, this is calculated fields. Yeah. Permanent field, yeah, planned business value. As I said, this is also a custom field type that we implemented, so it only supports a specific values, and I think these are the problematic ones. There's another question. PI objective at team level work, PI objectives at art and solution level do not have functional parity. With functional parity, you mean that they don't show the story points of related issues? Christian? Yes. Yeah, we don't have, what's the word? We do not aggregate the story points from the team issues and their objectives up to the art objectives. That's right. Yeah. Cindy, do you want to say something about that comment? Normally, you want to see those fields.
Sure, I can. Normally, you looking at, say, WSJF fields or planned or actual business value, process-wise is normally something you look at relative to the other set of issues, like the other objectives or the other features that you are prioritizing. So I understand why you would want to see that specific to an issue. Like for this feature, I want to see the components of weighted shortest job first. But in my experience, it's the looking at them in the set of things relative to one another is how people use them most often. So, I mean, if I had been in on that decision initially with this team, that's probably the feedback I would have given them on the question of whether they need to show them on the preview screen. Just some input.
Yeah, I think it does not only affect WSJF value fields. In my opinion, more relevant ones are the planning interval or teams involved that are also not visible on the issue detail screen. No, issue detail screen, they are visible. The preview screen that you see, for example, on the JQL search or in the backlogs, so the normal backlogs. Yeah. But
yeah,
these are technical issues, right, more than framework or usage issues.
Yeah, I see teams involved as one you definitely would want to see. But I hear your technical constraint. Sure.
Yeah, sorry, Christian, for disappointing you, but yeah, no, I don't think that we will have that in the near future, at least. Yeah, thank you for attending the review. The next review will be on the 9th of April, I think. Yes. There you will see we'll see a colleague of mine here because I'm still on vacation. Wishing you all a pleasant month and goodbye.